Hey everyone, it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we offer tools and knowledge for you to live your ultimate life and ageless, anti-aging for your brain, your body, and your future. And as always, it's wonderful to be here with you at this exciting and crucial time on our planet. And today, my message is about stepping up and doing our part. And if you're listening to this today, it's because you are meant to be a part of the solution. The world's going through a lot of changes these days. So instead of spending your time feeling helpless and saying, I just don't know what one person can do, instead, I suggest you say, this is the moment I was born for. This is the moment that I've been given so that I can contribute to the future of a planet that works for everyone. This is a moment that I can personally counteract the energy of fear on Earth. As our political divide seems as wide as it's ever been, maybe in all of history, definitely in recent history here in the US, and as blame and nastiness and disrespect and untruths fill our airways, as things like climate situations are happening in rapid successions, including the Park Fire, which is the largest fire and fourth largest fire in California history, and fires in Colorado, and the worst heat in recorded history, and wars continuing to rage with so much loss of innocent life. You know what we need to do? We need to pick up our swords and fight, but not with swords of metal, but with swords of light. And how do we do that? By radiating the opposite of fear. Forget about that list that I just rattled off. That's the last time you need to hear it. And instead, focus on what radiates love and peace. And enough of us radiate love and peace, we can and will triumph over the energy of fear that's been slowly engulfing our world. You know, many seers are saying that we are at the middle of a war of a different kind. And that's a war between the light and the dark. And it's a war that's been going on for millennia, but now you have the chance, actually the sacred duty, to be a warrior for the light. That's why you were born at this time. And it's not the sacred duty of everyone who is born at this time. But if you're listening to this message, it's not by chance. It's because you have volunteered to be a foot soldier for the light. You didn't know that, did you? As Rainer Maria Rilke famously once said, let us not squander the hour of our pain. So what can we do to bring in the light, to raise the vibration of the earth? Well, of course, I have some suggestions, and I'm sure you do too, which you can write in the comments below. One, of course, my old favorite. Notice where you're putting your attention. What we put our attention on grows in our lives. And because we're energetic beings, our vibration cascades through creation. Does what you're putting your attention on uplift you? Does it empower you? Does it bring you joy? Does it imbibe you with a vibration of happiness and thus cause you to spread a vibration of happiness like a petal being dropped into a pond and radiating to every corner of that pond? Or does what you put your attention on and talk about with your friends dim your light, contract you, make you sad, make you more fearful? Why would you do that to yourself and to the world? Now, I'm not saying to not stay in form or stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, but I am saying not to indulge in that which dims your light. Like the news. You know, I'm big on not watching the news. It's designed to make you filled with fear. Because, like a car accident on the highway, everyone wants to see what's going on. And the more bloody and the more sensational it is, the more people want to crane their necks and see it. And the more advertising dollars flow in. The information you really need will find you. I promise you that. You will not get blindsided. I love the story of the grandfather who was teaching his grandson about life. You know the story of the two wolves. Well, if you don't, I actually have it here for you, and I'm going to read it to you. And it goes like this. A Cherokee elder was teaching his young grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It is a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, self-doubt, superiority, and ego. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. This same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person as well. The boy thought about that for a moment and then asked his grandfather, well, which wolf will win? And the elder simply replied, the one you feed. So at this time, if you want to watch the news instead of feeding that negativity and feeding that fear inside of you, watch something that uplifts you. Right now, we are so lucky because we could watch the Olympics. I mean, watch that kid from Massachusetts, you know, the pommel horse guy, Stephen Nedorosik, I think is his last name. He's living with two eye conditions. One makes his eyes point in different directions, which causes him to have double vision. And then he has another condition on top of that called, what is it? Coloboma, which is low vision that can't be corrected by glasses. And there he is on the pommel horse, not missing a beat, even though he can't really see what he's doing and he has to clasp that handle and the other handle just at the right time. And because of his performance on the pommel horse, he clinched his team the bronze medal, which is the first time Team USA medaled in men's gymnastics since 2008. Or how about Grant Fisher yesterday? Just the second American in 52 years to medal in the men's 10,000 meters. It was so exciting. And of course, there's Simone Biles and Suni Lee with such inspiring comeback stories. Or if you're not going to watch the Olympics, look for stories of people doing random acts of kindness and uplifting one another. I don't even like to be around people who are like, oh, did you hear all of the carjackings that are happening in Chicago? Frankly, I don't want to vibrate with carjacking, which I would have to do if it's put in my energy field. Share stories about people working, for example, for sensible gun control. My friend Helen's amazing daughter Kayla was a finalist in Pharrell Williams' nonprofit Black Ambition, where young entrepreneurs pitch their ideas. Her invention, dedicated to promoting the safe storage of firearms through media and a technology called My Gun's Been Moved, won $25,000. And if you know anyone who owns a gun, share with them. My gun's been moved. It's a pad that you store your gun on. And if the gun gets moved, like if a child moves the gun because you forgot to lock your gun cabinet, you are immediately alerted on your phone. We are so proud of her. That's what you want to share. Subscribe to CNN, The Good Stuff, where they share all the good stuff that's happening during the week, or The Optimist Daily, and hear all the work that's going on, for example, to counteract global warming, or watch things that make you laugh. Watch comedians. I just watched Alex Edelman's special on HBO Max with my brother, and we just howled out loud. That's what you can do for the world. Put joy, put laughter, it vibrates. Or how about this one? A few months ago, I was a speaker on an event for Humanities Team, and it was with Steve Farrell and Neil Donald Walsh. They're the founders of Humanities Team. And one of the other speakers was a woman named Jacqueline Way, who she's the founder and executive director of an organization called 365 Give. She started 365 Give as a personal parenting project with her son, Nick, when he was just 3 years old. And what they did is they made a commitment together to give something every day for 1 year, even if it was just an intentional smile or a compliment. And after seeing the transformational impact it had on her son and on herself, she knew that they had to share it with others and started a nonprofit to inspire others to give in some way. every single day. And that's 365 Give. And you know what? If you're feeling depressed, the doctors and psychologists and the metaphysicians from antiquity have said to do one thing. If you want to shift that depression, give. Wake up in the morning and think, how can I give? How can I serve? How can I uplift someone today? And then go and do it. It's been scientifically proven that when people perform charitable acts, when they volunteer or donate to support a cause, or just do a random act of kindness, like baking someone a cake for their birthday, or handing out food at a soup kitchen, or going to visit your elderly aunt in the nursing home just to brighten her day. She doesn't get very many visitors. When you do an act of kindness, it triggers the release of oxytocin in you, which is the feel-good hormone, and that results in reduced anxiety levels in you. And what you radiate changes the energy around you. Oh, and also your cortisol levels go down, which is, of course, the stress hormone. So these acts result in less depression, a reduction of disease, by the way, that are diseases that are stress related, like heart disease and insomnia, for you by doing random acts of kindness. In fact, there was a study done by a man named Jorge Moll, M-O-L-L, at the National Institutes of Health. And he found that when people did acts of kindness, even just donating to a charity, it activated a region in the brain associated with pleasure, just writing a check. And they saw a change in their brain. It created what they called a warm glow effect. And furthermore, they found that even just thinking about doing an act of kindness released endorphins in the brain, producing the positive feeling known as the helper's high. So you could just think about it, but do it too. So if you're not feeling good, or you're feeling fear or dread, or you want to feel good instead and radiate good, just ask, what can I do to uplift someone today? And another thing you can do the things that make you happy. Do you like gardening? Do you like art? Do you like singing? My friend Gina joined a choir for the first time in her 50s. And guess what? She is so happy. She glows after a concert, and her husband's so adorable. He's so proud of her. Me, I love spending time with my godchildren. I took one of them and his dad to Disneyland for the first time, and it was months ago. But months later, I still get a smile on my face when I think about it, and especially when I look at the pictures. Again, write in the comments what you do that makes you happy. You'll give us some ideas. And even just you thinking about what it was that made you happy, and you write it in the comments, will uplift your energy field, and thus you will radiate it and affect the energy field of people around you. Another thing you could do, of course, is practice gratitude before you go to bed at night, first thing in the morning. I might have even said this already. One of these days I should start making notes, but I do it regularly. I think about or write the things that I'm grateful for. And again, it raises your vibration. And it's not about dismissing sadness or anger or fear or confusion. There's a lot of sadness in the world right now, but practicing gratitude gives us the opportunity to see that we can experience multiple feelings at once. We can hold sadness and still have incredible gratitude. About 4 years ago, my dear friend Derek Rydell, probably many of you know him. He's a master. He is just brilliant, and he lost his 24-year-old son. And on his Facebook, he wrote the most beautiful prose and poems about how grateful he was for the 24 years that he had with Jagger, and his gratitude for his friends and for his work and for his wife and all the people who supported him, and his gratitude for the sun and the mountains and the daffodils. In fact, here are some of the words that he wrote on his Facebook page. He said, "Beauty is not something you put on. It's the radiance that shines when you take everything off. That's why children love to be naked and why we feel so at home in nature." And then he goes on for many stanzas, sharing his gratitude for all the beauty. And then it ends with, "That's what beauty is, you know. It's what love has made and what love reveals. when there's nothing left to cover it up. So finally, remember to love. Love is not just romantic love. In fact, the great teacher Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar said that love is not an emotion. It is your very existence. So give that love that's your very existence to the checkout person at the grocery store by thanking them and giving them a big smile. Be sure to compliment people who give you good service, or if you like someone's haircut or shirt, or maybe they said something clever, tell them. You can make their day or their year or their life. And in doing so, well, what you give out always comes back multiplied. So the love you share will come back to you in many unexpected ways. So do what you need to do to raise your vibration, because all we need to do to raise the vibration of the planet is for more and more people to raise their own vibration and become warriors for the light, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So speak what is uplifting, share what is uplifting, think what is uplifting. Like Abraham Hicks says, whatever you're thinking about is literally like planning a future event. When you're worrying, you're planning. When you appreciate your planning. So what are you planning? Hopefully, the answer now will be a world filled with love and peace. And let's start with today. See how much love, appreciation, gratitude, and uplifting vibration you could add to the world. Take it a day at a time. Set the intention first thing in the morning. Today, I am going to be a warrior for the light and spread light in the darkness. You with me? Great. So I'll see you next week, and let's together create a world filled with light, one day at a time. We've got this one. Loving you always.